Scott Narver, what do we have in store for today?
Today, we have part 18 of WWE Encyclopedia.
Oh, that's so exciting. I mean, it is completely random, but who do you hope we talk about?
Doug Basham.
Well, but didn't we already talk about the Basham brothers?
Yeah, but we can keep talking about Doug Basham.
God.
Danny, not so much.
Honestly, this Basham obsession is pretty unhealthy.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't think so. Doug Basham today on Pro Wrestling Palskis.
WWE Encyclopedia 18.
Doug Basham style.
Hey, Scott Narver.
Hey, Jake Lloyd Bacon.
Well, hello to everybody out there joining us. Thanks for tuning in to the PWP. And a very special thanks to those joining us live via the super exclusive patron-only live stream. If you want to join us for these streams and just yell at us in real time, then you got to become a patron. That's the only way to do it. We also must acknowledge our current PWP champ, Mickey Bell, who will be defending that title in the Championship Palski Battle Royal later today.
All right, we got the cutoff has happened. So any additional names? Their final entrance coming in?
No, I got everybody printed out and
all right,
in the jar.
You're trying to sign up right now. You're in for the following month.
Yeah.
That's fine. You can sign up.
I got the jar.
Today, see that jar? Sealed shut.
Sealed it. Can't open it.
That's hot glue, baby. Can't get past that.
It's really dusty. I just noticed how dusty it was in the camera. See that clicky? It's a clicky.
Yeah, it's a Snapple container.
I think it had jam in it once.
Snapple jam?
No.
Well, we got weapons here now?
Chapel Stam. Careful, don't cut yourself.
All right, I'm going to make a point now.
Oh, jeez Louise. You got to become a patron to see the physical humor.
Yeah, the knives being brought out.
We're now prop comics all of a sudden.
What's wrong with that? Other than having to lug all that shit around.
Now I get to watch him try to figure out how to close this knife. It's where the thumb is there.
Where the thumb is. I got two of them.
Give it to me. Give me the knife. Ow! Thank you. Right there. See? Slide that over.
You almost cut your thumb off.
That's how you do it.
That was a dumb way.
That's how you do it. Sky Narver, it's one of our favorite things to do.
Yes.
Is
play with knives.
To play with knives, click the clicky button tops of old jam jars, and
Topps trading cards.
Crack open the WWE Encyclopedia.
Oh man, bring on the crack.
Technically, it's the WWE Encyclopedia of sports entertainment.
Oh, fuck you, Britannica.
Of sports entertainment. So
is that what distinguishes it between the previous encyclopedia? Was it not of sports entertainment?
Where is that?
I don't live here. I don't know.
I think it's downstairs on the library shelf. It shouldn't be. It should be up
That
here.
seems egregious.
All right. Yeah, we'll check next time.
You have real books down there.
We'll remember next time.
And 2 months.
I rolled over my sweater. Sorry. Throw that by. I meant to put it on the back.
I know. And then it just went to the back and you're going to roll over it back there now.
Completely missed the chair.
Every wheel is going to crunch that sweater up a little bit more.
Oh, my goodness.
And age it another 100 years.
If there's any chance that somebody's listening to this show for the first time, and I don't know how that's even possible anymore.
Yeah.
Tell them what we're doing. Tell them what this is.
We're not talking about Elimination Chamber. Potentially. But what we're doing is we're opening up the WWE Encyclopedia of Sports Entertainment, year of publication I can never remember.
2020, was it?
Sure. So we open up a page at random, and then we have a discussion about whatever it is that we stumble across. A lengthened discussion, whether it's memories, maybe interactions we've had with that person. Maybe they trained Jake Lloyd Bacon to wrestle. Oh,
this is the 4th edition. I still can't find a date. I feel like we've done this 100 times.
Yeah.
It doesn't have it on that first page. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's where all the good stuff is. 2020, this American edition. 2020, first American edition, 2016. So they came out with one this is the 4th edition, so every year they came out with a new one.
Can we get a Canadian edition?
Those greedy
Is
bastards.
that out there?
Do you need to come out with one every single year?
Think of how many NXT people they add every year. That's a lot of pages.
That's a good point.
That's a lot of fucking weird names to add in.
Okay, I'll do the page scroll. You do the say and the stop.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
I
Ready?
think the scrolls are boring in Marvel, but all right, fair enough.
Okay, here we go.
Stop.
Oh, okay. You stopped me right here.
Yeah, I sure did. Stopped you right there.
What happens when we get a page we've already gotten again? I can't remember the rule because I think that just happened.
Really?
If I'm not mistaken, we have already got. Oh my God, this was the last episode. This literally the last time we did Encyclopedia, we got this exact same page because I remember Spike Dudley is the artwork I made for it. So we have to do a reroll. But this was page 334 and 335.
Okay.
We've royally screwed ourselves. My guess is that there's for some reason this page is like bent open more, maybe because we looked at it so much last time.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna do that again. We're gonna redo.
Okay.
Let's try this again.
Redo.
Page 255.
If
Wait,
it
Mike,
happens too many times,
Mike
we have
Lucas
to-
in chat just says page 255. Is that you just picking what page we're doing? Because I'm totally fine with doing it that way.
What? They have all the control now?
They always have. I mean, do you want me to see what's on page 255 before we agree to his terms?
Hey, you're holding the book. You have to say.
Let's see. Maybe we do this.
I really
one
hope page 255 is the greatest Royal Rumble.
No, but there's nothing on this page that we're gonna have a lot to say about.
Old dead guys.
It is really. This is the old dead guy section of the book.
Okay.
I mean, if you want this episode to be short, this is definitely one of them. On page 255 is in the National Wrestling Alliance section.
Oh,
Which has its own section.
Sure.
But within that is just this page that has
Featured superstars.
featured talent like Jimmy Valiant, Gordon Soley, The Assassins, Paul Jones, Bob Geigel, Jim Barnett. Tully Blanchard is on it.
I could hang with like half,
Yeah.
but if it doesn't tickle your fancy and we didn't come across it naturally.
No, I think if we did that, we'd have to go to National Wrestling Alliance. I think we need to organically get an NWA turn. So I appreciate, Mike, you trying to circumvent. But if you were the champ, I would have let that go.
Oh shit.
But you're not the champ, and therefore I didn't let it go. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Stop. Shit. We're gonna be in a
Oh, boy.
podcast war.
Today is going to be a conversation, kids, because we're in the J's.
Oh.
And we have almost exclusively a Jim conversation, but we've snuck in a Jillian.
Do we have any Slim Jims in there?
Nope. Well, there's no, none of these are slim. At one point, Jim Cornette might have been considered slim, but it's been
He is
a long.
now.
Been a long. Oh, really? Did his trim back down
Yeah, he's trim.
with all them
Trim and
cheeseburgers
slim.
too? All right, we've got Jillian that starts the whole thing off in the top left corner, and then we are in Jim Central. Jim Barnett, Jim Cornette, Jim Neidhart, Jim Powers, Jim Snuka, Jim Young, and to a lesser thing, Jim Ross says see page 172 because he probably has this whole other page.
Jim Snuka?
Jimmy, well, I was keeping them to Jims. It says
Okay.
Jimmy Snooker Flies.
And then Jim Young?
Yeah. No, Jim Young is called Jim Young.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jim Young. He's this beefy 80s looking dude.
I thought you were saying like it was an Asian guy potentially like Jin Young.
Oh, got it.
So I was confused on Jimmy Young?
Well, shit. Where do you want to start here? Jillian?
Sure.
The only female and non-Jim participant of today's episode?
Sure.
Alrighty. What do you remember about Jillian? Oh, I cranked my microphone there. I apologize, everybody. The book touch. I always do that. I always let the book accidentally hit the...
Well, first you let the listeners dictate everything, then you let the book dictate your volume.
We're keeping it loose here today.
Yeah, loose and goose. I don't have fond memories of Jillian Hall. It was a very Vicky Guerrero.
Wait, Jillian Hall? Was that her name?
I think that was the full name, and then she got cut. Does it say that in there?
No, it doesn't say
It
anything.
was just Forever Jillian?
Yeah, it does. I mean, you know the way WWE is. Like the book doesn't say anything about.
Well, usually when
Hall.
they're reaching for any additional
Right.
fact, it's like she was once known as Jillian Hall.
They're like, we really need to pad this page a lot.
Well, I'm trying to remember how it all came about. I think on OVW television, she had a decent thing going where she was just like a tough lady wrestler. And yeah, she was Jillian Hall.
Yep.
Um,
Not according to the book.
And then when they brought her up, a lawyer, an agent, a something or other, like some sort of side character that wasn't presented as a wrestler, but had a birthmark on her face that was
Right.
just the weirdest stage makeup class.
Right. I vaguely remember.
Effect.
I don't think I watched this, but I remember seeing it in replays.
I mean, look up the Jillian birthmark WWE or something like that, and I'm surprised it already hasn't popped up because
That
that's
blemish pops up.
blemish.
Yeah.
I think they tried to sell it as a birthmark, and it
Oh,
was so
gross.
it was so stupidly gross.
Like unnecessarily.
Share with the there we go.
This is a real.
Just like, come on.
This is a real.
She's not going to the doctor at any point to undo that. This beautiful lady is gonna have some of it cut off or something. So my favorite memory of her, thankfully, is a time when WWE went, all right, we're gonna wrap this up. They put an end to that thing on her face, and I believe it was a Piper's Pit.
Okay.
That involved
strange connection.
It involved her, potentially someone else, and of course, my beloved, the Boogeyman. And you put all these elements together,
Okay.
and it's fucking great. I
Really?
might actually suggest that we watch it in the break.
Okay.
Because Piper's fucking top notch. Piper is terrified of the Boogeyman.
Oh, okay. And
Piper,
he's
the
selling
loose
it.
cannon, everything.
Right.
He's
too strange, too weird,
too psychotic,
abnormal,
and
yeah.
Boogeyman is really at a peak.
He's that, yeah.
Because it's the clock, it's
Yeah.
everything's warps. So when he comes out and Jillian is cowering in the corner, but still standing and just freaking out, and Boogeyman is just like attracted to her and coming up to her, and then everyone's speculating like, what is going on? What's he doing?
I think I know where this is going.
And
I'm
he
already-
licks the birthmark across her face. She's going, ah. And then he proceeds to eat it off of her face. Like
This
bites
is
it off
such
and eats the entire thing.
Oh, it's so gross.
So-
it's stomach churning.
So that was a moment where they go,
I just let you know I have a really weak stomach.
so I was like, great, they got rid of it. WWE actually didn't just go like, yeah,
Boogeyman turned it into poop.
it's just gone next week, or
Right.
we're not dealing with that. Boogeyman ate it. Boogeyman fucking got rid of a shitty, dumb gimmick on someone.
There's a t-shirt. Boogeyman ate it! !
So he eats it. She freaks out and is in kind of a little bit of pain because he's ripped a birthmark off her face, and she ran away. And then Boogeyman turns his attention to Piper. And Piper has, from what I recall, his hands clasped as he's praying and also holding the microphone in him, and is doing the fastest, most hilarious, like, oh, mother full of grace, oh, Lord, help me.
Right.
And then like peeks out and looks and still sees Boogeyman like get closer, and then does it again till Boogeyman like leaves him be and goes past him, but Piper is then relieved.
Sure.
But just like
Saved by the power of Christ.
saved by the power of Piper and Boogeyman, that they help this poor girl, give her a chance to go like, all right, we're going to get rid of that fucking dumb thing. Now everyone knows who you are. And then sadly, they couldn't get away from having something stupid attached to her face, and becomes a Britney Spears-esque.
Right. So that was this must have been happening right when I restarted watching it, because I remember the singer. Do not remember those birthmarks shit. I remember her being the bad singer singing the song like
You're making something a song.
Like, wasn't that the melody of it?
I think you're giving her more credit, because I think
Oh.
it was just like, I'm taking a bunch of words and then not singing.
It was like something
singing,
about I know you want me or something like that.
but I
maybe.
felt like there was no actual tune. Like no one actually went, here's
Here's
a
what it's supposed
song
to
you
sound
can go
like. Right.
to, and you can always have that in your head. It always changed. And it was just, it's Vicky Guerrero. Like, I can't watch this. This isn't fun.
Right.
I don't want to see you get beat up. I
yeah.
don't want to see you.
Yeah, it was annoying, but not good wrestling annoying. It
Yeah.
was cheap heat, kind of.
It was go away heat.
Yeah, go away heat. Mike Lucas in chat says she was also in JBL's cabinet. I don't remember that.
That was very short lived, I think.
Probably before I was watching.
Was she? I remember the brunette lady, and then the Bashams were in the cabinet, and they fucking rocked. They were great, man. Doug Basham brought all the thunder in the cabinet. I mean, she's wearing a cowboy hat and standing next to him. So
there you go. She's coming out with him with a clipboard.
Maybe that's what she's. Those are fuzzy times to say the least.
Sure.
But click on that one down there.
Which one?
You were just hovering over it.
This
over
one?
to the left.
This one?
Yeah. Bash.
Should I be sharing this with? Oh, God damn it. I'm not sharing that. Well, there you go, Jillian. Do you want to see what it says about her?
Sure. I don't think she won any titles.
Do you see? Do you think it says anything about her?
I think the bad singing for sure.
Okay, but you think it says anything about the mole?
Yeah, it has to.
Okay.
That was how we.
This
got to
diva
know her.
first appeared in late 2005 as a fixer for Eminem. She was later seen at the side of the business mogul John Bradshaw Layfield. Within a short period, Jillian made it clear that if she were ringside, she would make her presence felt and her voice heard. In the ring, she became a top contender. All right, doesn't seem like they were acknowledging that
This
at all.
is like, oh God, I got turning these pages by 2 a.m. and it's fucking 1:45 and I'm tired. I'm just gonna write generic things.
Yep. There's nothing in here that talks about the singing. A collection of her favorite Christmas tunes was a hit with fans.
Boo on this entry, WWE.
In October
Encyclopedia.
2009, she reached the crescendo of her career when she defeated Mickie James for the Divas Championship.
Oh.
Though the tone-deaf diva lost the title to Melina immediately afterwards, being a champion for even just a few moments is more than most will ever accomplish in their career. Seems like something a loser writes.
She got it, but boy, she fucked it up real fast.
All right, I'd like to play this game with you. What was the name of Jillian's signature move?
Jesus.
Nope, wasn't called
Mic
out Jesus.
drop.
I mean, that's a great guess, but I don't think that phrase was really like as prominent in 2009. A mic drop, but it was not. It had something to do with singing.
The vibrato.
That's a great guess. It was the high note.
All right, it's fitting.
It's also good for the turn of phrase. Oh, this one's going to end on the high note.
Yeah, because she had a kind of a chubby cheeks, but you can't say the fat lady singing.
No, not at all.
She wasn't a fat lady.
Not at all. All right. Who do you want to talk about next? Which of the Jims? Jim Young, Jim Neidhart, Jim Cornette, Jim Powers, Jim Superfly Snuka?
Well, we got one murderer in there.
Yeah. That we know of. Yeah. That we're aware of.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
this book should just be said WWE Murderpedia. Show
business and murders. Cornette. I'm always happy to talk about Cornette.
Jim Cornette is one of those people who I will defend endlessly, because even though I often hate how he says things, I'm never mad at what he's trying to say or what he's like. I tend to give Jim Cornette more benefits of the doubts than most people who are, let's face it, despite the fact that he has this long-standing career and he's this incredible talent and booker and all this stuff, he is now just a wrestling pundit at this point, right? He's a commentator, not in the sense of wrestling commentator, but in like
I go beyond that. I'd one up it, and I'm going to try and raise it in the way that you last week greatly raised the the WWE Hall of Fame is this.
Right.
Jim Cornette offers on every show a masterclass in wrestling.
That's fair.
On either a subject or multiple subjects each episode. And it's crazy. Like, there are certain things we can go, yeah, that's his point of view on it.
Right.
But there's a lot of stuff. It's like, look, there's a guy of the territory days and of the TV days and of the pay-per-view days that saw a lot of the majority of time. This is what's going to work.
Right.
This has been tried and true, and we've done it this way forever. Yeah. And he'll acknowledge a lot of times you can flip it. You can do something different.
Right.
But this TV show is presenting this, and they don't know how structurally something works. Let me break it down. And he does that constantly.
That's a really good point.
And he's not charging for it. These are on free podcasts.
Right.
Other people don't do it. Other people won't be as open and honest about something. He offers up such crazy information on pro wrestling.
He also is the sort of person. That's what Tamina said. He offers up solutions to problems.
Yes.
Whereas most people just highlight problems.
That's what a pundit would just do. Like, this is
that's
bad.
a good point. Yes.
And they need to fix it.
Yeah. I do really do enjoy listening to, sometimes it's too much. But
they got long shows, but the YouTube, that's how I digest it, is the YouTube
the little clips that pop up. Yeah.
But it's fascinating because I would buy those shoot interviews of people back in the day. RF Video or ROH had their series as well, and loving to hear like Dusty talk about booking and that. But they would certainly always keep stuff guarded.
Sure.
Or I'm not going to reveal this because I may work again at some point, and I don't want to share this. Since Cornette is also in that position where he's like, I just do my thing now and I'm good. He's not searching for a job. He's not trying to be with the company. He's had those opportunities and doesn't want to do it. He's just an old man being at home. That's why he can freely give this perspective and this advice, because it doesn't fucking matter. Because there are so many Jim Rosses of the world, or JJ Dillons at a younger point where they would just be very politically savvy about it, and just say like, hey, if that's what works for them, that's good. It's good for everybody involved, and wrestling going forward is in a great place.
Right.
Now this guy can go, fuck, that doesn't fucking work. Here's why. And he's funny. He's fucking funny.
He is funny. He's very quick-witted.
Yeah.
There are times where I roll my eyes because he's funny, but he's also getting old, so he has a lot of old man humor.
Yeah,
and some of it's like old. Some of it's just like, dude, you're so out of touch. I don't mean like culturally, but I'm just mean like this is that
is a joke from the 40s that hit hard.
Yeah, or it's just like the immediate quick, like somebody like, I don't know who his co-host is on that
Brian
show.
Last.
But Brian will say something, and he'll say something like that sounds like the word that he said, and just like try to get something. And I'm like, okay, let him finish reading, douchebag. Like, and I'm just like, all right,
But the barometer of Brian Last is so enjoyable because he has this desk hit that he does.
Yeah.
That's so loud, but you know that he broke Brian.
He got him. Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's enjoyable. And then, I mean, I am not very well versed on the career of Jim Cornette because there's so much, but any of the times that I've watched and I've seen him, the fucking energy that he brings as a manager.
I feel like I recall as a kid just hating him.
Sure.
And really loving whenever anybody would beat him up. Like, I feel like my memory probably very unfairly merges Whippleman and Cornette, which I don't think is fair.
Guy in suit, you know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to either of them because they both did something very unique. But I think Cornette was more prominent.
He's the rich kid mama's boy.
Yeah.
Which is crazy that character isn't tapped into more.
Yeah.
Like, the only one that really speaks to me in a way was it's always kind of alluded to. Oh yeah, he's one.
EC3 is probably the more recent version of this character.
Raven had like a twist on it.
Right. The Dupree? No, what was his name? Raven. You're talking about before pre-Raven. You're talking about what he was before Raven.
Scotty Polo?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking just Raven, because it was Raven was the misunderstood youth. Raven was the guy. Okay. That's what I mean. He had a twist on it.
All right, I understand what you're saying.
It's alluded to that he came from a rich family.
Oh, I don't remember that part of his story.
I think I do, and maybe I'm misremembering the check.
No, you're probably right.
But he's kind of privileged, but this is the life he's chosen, and the bands, the comics, like, you don't understand me. No one understands me.
Right.
My family doesn't.
Yeah, he was like your typical white middle class suburban kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was so different than everybody else, but the Cornette character seems like it could have been easily ripped off over and over. We've had the Undertaker character ripped off in so many forms that how do you not just go, yeah, spoiled rich kid, carries around tennis racket, and just lips off at everybody.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a little bit, not a lot, but there's a little bit of Shane McMahon in that. Like, I could see that. But yeah, no, that is sort of a current. That's a long-standing wrestling trope that I can't think of a current person who's doing that bit.
For something so simple.
Yeah.
Or even for a female to have that, like, daddy's a little girl.
I mean, like, yeah, because like Charlotte's not that. She's presented as like, no, I'm the queen. Like, she's earned what she's got. Yeah.
Athlete and all
There's nobody who's like
a shit heel manager.
Yeah, the shit, or even a wrestler, but yeah, the manager would be best. But yeah, even like, I can't think of a single one.
Is it I mean, it doesn't follow the Taker rule, but he did it so well. You go, I can't fucking follow that.
No, I don't think so, because I think it's a vague of enough you know, it's like a low concept kind of character that like you can take the archetype and you can do lots of stuff with it.
But clearly a difference in what we talked about Jillian.
Right.
That, oh, she's annoying. I don't want to see her, but this guy's a fucking brat.
I wanted to
see
hear
him.
I also want to
get
hear
beat up.
what he had to say because I liked then watching him get booed or like you want to.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you want your heroes to
What did you
prove
say?
him
What?
and his team wrong,
Right.
shut him up,
Yeah.
beat him up. He's of the era when you get so crazy loud when the hero gets their hands on his jacket.
And they just hold and you wait and you let that
and you're
milk a
like,
moment.
he's
It's
got
like,
it.
oh my
and then
God.
he gets out of the jacket, you're like,
Right.
fuck.
Yeah.
That they reach those moments every so often now. They're getting back to that. But that's
Even this photo they have in the encyclopedia with this ref whose name always escapes me, like holding him back, is a really great just like example of his weaselness. Like it's just such a like he just looks like such a weasel in that photo.
oh, that's Tim White.
Tim White, thank you.
Oh, he's holding Tim White back. Because I think
I
Vader
get it.
or somebody's doing
You're
something
right.
bad, and
You're
he's
100% right.
No,
He's
no.
blocking the ref from him. Oh, see, I saw that as like, no, I'm kicking you out of here. You're not going to let you get involved. I saw him as, but yeah, no, you're
Cornette's
right.
arms are out.
He's blocking him. Let's read a little bit about what it says in the book.
Okay.
They call him one of the most controversial and outspoken men in sports entertainment history.
Sure.
James E. Cornette. What's the middle name? What's the E? I don't remember that. That was just what everybody had to have. Paul E. Dangerously.
Yeah.
Jim E. Cornette. Jimmy E. Snuka.
Jim E. Hart.
Rose to prominence as a manager of the Midnight Express. Obviously, NWA to talk about that. Managed both iterations of the Midnight Express.
I can't keep my expresses straight.
Yeah, me there. His most infamous moment as a manager of them came at Starrcade '86 when he and his team competed against the Road Warriors and Paul Ellering in a Skywalkers match. During the unique contest, Cornette severely injured his knee when he fell from a scaffold erected high above the ring.
You've seen that clip, right?
They've talked about that. Like they always bring that up whenever they talk about crazy stunt shit. Following NWA, WCW, he starts his own regional promotion in '91 known as Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Still, in my opinion, one of the best wrestling company names.
It's a solid name.
And it's I think it's because it's just a location, but you still get the double word, the bop, 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 bop. Like you still get the rhythm,
You
the
get a good
cadence.
feel.
Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Yes. Smoky has sort of just the word smoky on its own, unrelated to a region, has sort of like a Western feel to it. It has like a vibe. You think of a bar, you think of a fight, you think of a, you know, so it just works. And then Mountain is the countryside. Fucking
Yeah.
great. Promotion lasted more than 4 years, famously played home to such competitors as Jericho, Lance Storm, and Chris Candido. While promoting it, he debuted for WWE in '93, quickly became known as the American spokesperson for the then WWE champion, Yokozuna. In '96, he created Camp Cornette. That's where he had Bulldog, Owen, and Vader. Yeah, it says that in later years, he would serve as an opinionated commentator for many broadcasts before masterminding the 1998 NWA invasion of WWE. During this time, he married Wyndham, Jarrett, Rock and Roll Express to great success.
Also, a commentator on the first episode of SmackDown.
Oh, yeah.
Tim and Cole. I
like that let me just really quickly.
Sure.
I like that they gave him this flowers in this because it ends with Cornette and WWE ended their 12-year relationship in 2005. Over the course of his decade plus with the company, he successfully cemented his legacy as one of the single greatest managers of all time. I like that they gave him his flowers there at the end and wasn't like, and we don't like him anymore.
And he does a podcast. The other positive, as we wrap up on Cornette here, the other positive thing I'll say about Cornette and all the, people go like, oh, he's this, he's that. And I'm not trying to change your minds on it in any way, but the through line that he has with wrestling and talent and shows going forward is always, he wants there to be options. He wants there to be opportunities for everybody. He wants it to continue. So when he critiques like an AEW in its current state, it's, you're going to fuck it up. People won't want to watch it.
Right.
And then it dies. And when people do all the crazy shit, it's, hey, I want you to all be okay.
Right. Yeah.
There's very few people that he wants physical harm to come to.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's like, I may not like you, but I want you to not kill yourselves and cripple yourselves so everyone can keep doing this.
He's a real like rising tides kind of guy. Yeah. Right on. Well, a couple of the names really quickly here. Obviously we got Jimmy Snuka. He murdered a dude once, allegedly. And
it wasn't a dude.
I'm sorry. Murdered his wife, allegedly.
Girlfriend.
Oh, really?
That was a longtime girlfriend.
Oh, I thought, okay.
I don't recall it being wife. But
I
don't know. What's it say in the book?
I don't know. I don't want to read it. It's too much.
Okay.
He threw me out of a battle royal in my first ever wrestling match.
No shit.
Yeah, and
were you supposed to throw him out, and he fucking called?
Two things I remember was how sad it was watching him walk, and how horrifying his feet were. They were the ugliest things I've ever seen.
Were they
in my
all
entire life.
broken toes?
Honestly, I'm surprised halfway through the match the Boogeyman didn't come out and eat them, because they were fucking disgusting. Okay.
How do you smell?
Patchouli oil. I don't know, whatever the shit he rubbed on himself was. It was strange.
Did you chat at any point?
No, it was just
because how's that work in a battle royal?
They just told you like, oh, you're gonna be like number 5th out, and it's just gonna be Jimmy. Like it was one of those, everybody was in the ring already.
Sure.
Bell rings, and it's just like, oh, we were all in there for Jimmy to throw us out. Like there was like 7 of us in the.
That's why I didn't know if you're going up to Jimmy and like you're tagging him and go like, you're supposed to throw me out too.
No, I think if I remember correctly, I was in a scuffle on the turnbuckle with one of my cohorts from school, and he just came up and just grabs and like doesn't do anything. It's like literally. He touches your back and you throw yourself over the apron to make him look.
So it wasn't terrible. A dick. He wasn't mean in any way.
No, not that I recall.
I'm gonna murder you.
I don't recall really sharing words with him at all whatsoever. It was just like.
Do you do the thing? Thanks, brother.
No. Nope.
You need a ride?
You got any Coke? All right. Jim Powers. Is Jim Powers? That's not the one from the Brett tape, is it?
No.
What was that guy's name?
I don't remember.
Anyways,
but that's Powers and Roma.
I don't recognize Jim Powers. Says he was trained by Big John Studd, and he's from New York City. New York City. I don't know. He does look familiar in the little like baby face photo. He's up top right here, my hand.
Oh yeah, yeah. Him. They did a.
There he is, kids.
Powers and Roma. He was just that Tito Santana cookie cutter look of like, I'm just a guy,
right? He does look like,
and I'm kind of happy.
I've got a feathered haircut mullet, and I have a big smile. Like this is the guy that they invented the frame baby face for, because he does have a legitimate baby face.
I just was never wowed by him in a time of crazy characters. I could probably watch him and appreciate him now, but when growing up, I was just like, this guy's boring.
Let's see. Oh, this is why I don't recognize him. Debuted WWE in 1984. I thought he was way later. He looks like he's a little bit after that, but okay.
Well, debuted, but...
Yeah, given his good looks and impressive physique, he was an instant hit with the women of WWE Universe. Attractiveness aside, he was also recognized as an outstanding in-ring competitor who excited crowds all over the world. After initially competing as a singles competitor, he started a search for a tag team partner towards the end of 86. Shortly after that, he aligned with Paul Roma to form the Young Stallions, was the name of their group.
Mm-hmm. I prefer the Wild Stallions.
Yeah. Be fucking awesome to each other. Entering the ring to their Crank It Up theme song, the gutsy duo utilized a high-flying style.
Oh, was that them?
Crank It Up?
That's unfair. That's a fucking awesome song.
Should we listen to Crank It Up?
We can, and then we're flagged. I think that is that one also off Pile Driver?
Jim Powers, Crank It Up.
Roll it out. Live it up. Let's party now. Crank it up. Roll it out. Crank It Up WWE.
Young Stallions WWF theme, Crank It Up. You think it's this one?
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
I think this was also on Pile Driver, if I'm not mistaken.
The album on Pile Driver? All right, we'll
fucking greatest thing ever. Alex Pierce joins us. Sorry I was late. Can you start over?
He has his own entrance music.
They gotta sometimes just take these old ones and put them on somebody else. I don't recall this being with Young Stallions, so fucking just on anybody.
We were cruising the streets, looking for some action. Had my radio playing
Jimmy Hart.
on my rock and roll station. Saw 3 hot ladies down by the square. I said, jump in, girls, let's
We've
go
got some
party
real American beer.
I mean,
It gets better when they
pretty
do the,
good.
when they do the fucking
Pretty
key
good.
change.
pretty
It
good. Was it
ramps
key
up the-
change? Should we keep listening?
I'll listen to the whole goddamn song.
Like I could play air drums. Oh, Tom Tom.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside. It's such a Jimmy Hart song. All the things he does. It's like a Randy Newman, I walk everywhere, but Jimmy Hart's like, I fucking do cool shit.
Sure, this is cranky.
Yeah, you gotta crank it up.
Well, they can't hear you saying anything. That's a great chorus.
So yeah, we get to this, and then Jimmy's gonna get even more excited.
It's so long. They probably stopped so
Because
soon.
they were making albums. They were specifically
right.
making albums on top of it.
I guess I'm
and
curious when they
music
came out to the ring, was it just like the first couple seconds, or did they kind of let it play to get people to buy the album?
videos. You get like a minute because people ran. It wasn't long.
Got it. By the
And-
way,
and
if
just a lot of
you're
like,
watching
yeah.
the video on either live or in the replay, on the right there, that's Jim Powers.
Yeah, well, I think most people know Paul Roma from More Unfortunate Things. Okay, here we go.
I'm being told to crank it.
Jimmy's gonna get crazy.
So aggressive.
They just have him in the back, waving a fucking flag. And some guy's hawking beer in the meantime. It's like, come on, flip him.
And there you go.
Jimmy's
Slowly
songs
fade
fucking rock.
Now I got to remember to download that and put it into the audio version of the podcast because I wasn't recording any of that for that later.
Okay.
I like making more work for myself. What can I say, kids? Well, there you go. I mean, I'd be a fan of that guy. Crank it up.
I mean, it was the same thing with Girls in Cars was on Strike Force, and I couldn't stand Tito, and Rick Martel was boring, but I was like, I like this song. These guys suck. So it's the same thing that if Young Science came out, I go, song's great. These guys stink.
All right, we got Jim Barnett, Jim Young, and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. I mean, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, obviously the highest profile of the batch here. I loved him when I was little, and it was 100% because of the goatee and the voice.
And the laugh.
Yeah, that's what I meant, the voice. Yeah. Like that's
And his energy too.
Oh, yeah.
Unrivaled.
Sure.
Because I never would pay attention to Bret Hart. Bret Hart was
okay.
It was
I
was nothing like Jim was what it was all about. Jim was crazy. Jim was huge. He was the brawler. He was everything I liked. And then his excitement. And then Bret talks to like, yeah. Get it. I'm just watching Jim. That's it. And much of that era when I'm thinking, oh, the breakout guy is Jim.
Right.
Oh, the breakout guy is Marty.
Well, because
Jannetty.
Well, and Jim specifically because he's the bigger character.
Mhm.
He's got like if you saw a photo or not a photo, if we did like a simple iconic or like an icon or like a caricature, there we go.
Yeah.
Of the two, Bret looks like a generic dude, and Jim Neverland looks like a character. The fucking goatee and the buzz cut, the flat top, like
Mhm.
the bright red color to his facial hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
The little beer belly guy, even though. He was
Oh my
long.
God.
Do you know where
That
the
beer
name,
belly was amazing.
You know where the name Anvil came from?
No,
Would you like to find out?
I sure would.
Neidhart began Calgary Stampede Wrestling. It was here that he earned his famous moniker after Stu Hart paid him $500 to enter and win a local anvil throwing contest.
What the fuck?
Helen Hart started calling him the Anvil. The nickname stuck with him ever since.
How did he do?
He won.
He
They
won it?
paid him to, yeah. So I guess
Did anyone else do it?
I'm sure whoever else was in the thing, I guess. I
Some
don't know.
crazy Canadians throwing anvils? How much does an anvil weigh?
I just want to say, I'm guessing because of the delay that the timing was this. I said, do you know how he got his nickname Anvil? And then in the chat, Tim Redbeard said his dong. So I just want to appreciate you, Tim, for your contributions to the show. Anyways, yeah, fucking love Jim the Anvil Neihart.
They range from 50 to 200 pounds.
200 pound, throwing a 200 pound anvil.
If he threw it on someone, they would flatten out.
I don't think they
And
threw them
then-
at people.
And then their feet would sprout out, and then they just like kind of shimmy away until they could
They'd roll
reinflate
up like
themselves.
like in the Wicked Witch.
Mhm.
Do you know what his finishing move was called? Because I just read that. and I
Not the
don't-
heart attack.
Nope, that was
Not
their
the
tag,
tag
move.
team one.
What's his move called?
The anvil smasher or something like that.
Oh, you did more than I did. It was called the Anvil Flattener. A terrible name for it. The
Yeah, 'cause
Anvil Flattener? Way
He's
too many
the
syllables.
anvil. It's
Just
kind
call
of
it
like
the
the
flattener.
Canadian pile driver
Sure, but it's, yeah.
or the Canadian destroyer. It's like,
Right.
well, oh, wait, is it Canadian destroying people or is it the anvil flattener? He's the anvil, so why wouldn't it just be the flattener?
Yeah, I don't know. Jim Young, I don't know. Do you know Jim Young?
No.
Don't know Jim Young. He was the owner of an unimpressive win-loss record.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like an unimpressive car lot.
Big burly mustache, long curly brown hair. He reminded many wrestling fans of Magnum TA. Unfortunately, his appearance was the only characteristics that reminded
Jesus
fans of-
Christ!
Yeah,
They
they're-
printed that.
Yep, they pretty much just printed this section to say he was terrible.
Hey, he looked like this one guy that was awesome, but he wasn't.
So
Here's
he
a
was-
free copy for your family.
He was an enrichment talent.
Enhancement?
No, enrichment. You know, like when they throw like a piece of garbage into the tiger like exhibit at the zoo.
Sure.
And it's like, oh yeah, it's enrichment. They just that's what he
It's
was.
a little scuba diver in a
he was,
tank.
He was enrichment talent.
Well, all right. Well, there we go. We've all been enriched from this WWE Encyclopedia on this occasion with our mini gyms and a Jillian.
Well, I don't have $500 to pay you to enter this anvil throwing contest, Scott, but I do have $0 to throw you this jar and give you the privilege of selecting the champion for March of 2025. This is the PWP Championship Battle Royal. Mickey Bell, current champ, will be defending this title right now.
When
to
does
see
spring happen?
who is our March champion.
When does spring happen? Is it March?
Spring is March. Yeah, out like a lion and out in like a lamb and out like a lion is what they say.
And flatten like an anvil.
And flattened like an anvil.
All right. Here we go. I'm just trying to make sure I got one and not 14 of them. All right. The name stays here.
Yes, I
Jar
see.
goes away. All on the up and up. And the PWP champion for March is a new PWP champ, Masked Llama.
Mass Llama, congratulations on your victory. Should I reference the sheet and see when the last time Mass Llama?
Holy sheet. Let's see.
Holy sheet. Mass Llama with his first victory of 2025 and his first championship since, oh man, it's been a hot minute. Mass Llama, the last time he was a champion, it looks like was June of 2022.
Oh, the Chikara days.
Wow. Mass Llama been out of the championship picture, but he's fought his way back to the top. I'm sorry, it was August
I
of
think he was going to
2022.
say screwed his way back in.
Yeah, but listen, I don't know what he did with you to
That's
get
how I
you
got
to
on
that.
this show.
Mass Llama, congratulations again. Thanks to you and thanks to each and every one of you for your continued support of the program. We would not, should not, could not do the show without you guys. We just,
Don't cry.
we just it's so hard, with everything going on in the world. It's just so great to have this outlet. Somebody just to talk to.
Yeah, with Jimmy Snuka taking out listeners left and right, we got to hold on to him as however we can, And you got to crank it up, roll it out, live it up, party now.
So what else? What do we do here? Hey,
We're
check out
gonna
the shop.
thank.
But we'll do that last. Check out the shop at dragonwagonshop.com. You snag yourself some merchandise. Snag yourself maybe a little tasty, maybe a little. It could be tasty depending on what you put in it. A nice, classy mug.
Yeah, some backwash that Jake has drank, and then he'll sell it to you on the internet.
Get yourself some hats, some shirts, some sweatshirts, phone cases if you're into that sort of thing.
Hey, yeah, wait, you got new ones? Because I'm going to be getting a new phone.
What kind of phone are you gonna get? Do I have to
Samsung something or other?
Which number are they at? Do I have to update again?
They're up to 25.
26, I think, was the most recent.
I was in
did.
2 T-Mobile stores.
Oh my god, maybe
And
I'm
they didn't
wrong.
have either one.
It's happened before. Follow us on social medias that still exist at PW Palskis. Find
Go to the website. For
everything you need to know at pwpalskis.com is where you can find a link to the Patreon where you could have your name entered into the monthly PWP Championship Battle Royal. Scott, let's thank our current Patreon Palskis.
So thank you to all of our current Patreon Palskis who help support the show and allow us the opportunity to give you a bunch of extra content. And I can't wait for Mass Llama's watch along match. So I'm going to be hitting them up for that. So thank you to Adrian Avina, AJ0314, Alex Pierce, Andrea Beeler, Gilbert Short, Mass Llama, our new PWP champ, Mexican Stallion, Michael Beltran, Mike Lucas, Strong Style, Suicide, Tim Redbeard, Tom Hader, and Tony Griggs.
Thanks to each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for joining us here. Live stream. We will be back for another episode here in just a moment. It's a long day as we stockpile some fun eps for the pod feed for.
Because I'm leaving. I'm going on
for our boys'
work
little
trip
travels
for a little while.
But we will be back just a short bit, so hang out with us if you're hanging. And everybody listening, I hope you had fun. Thank you for joining us. It's always a blast hanging out with you, the Pro Wrestling Palskis.
It's Dragon Wagon.